Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. If you've been here before, hey. If this is your first time, hey, welcome. Glad that you're here. Glad you clicked on this video. My name is Tia. I talk about life, God, and everything in between. And today's video is about fulfilling your destiny. Not really fulfilling your destiny, destiny fulfilled. How about that? That's the name of the video, Destiny Fulfilled. Not really, I don't really want to talk about fulfilling your destiny, but whatever is going to happen in your life is just going to happen. No matter what the circumstances, like, the path is going to be the path. It is being paved as we speak, okay? And sometimes what you think is going to be your way, it's not. Like, God already has it written, right? Like, and this video is coming because of something that has happened to me like last night. And I just woke up and the word was on my mind, so I had to share. So I was supposed to travel yesterday to celebrate my brother's graduation. Justin, if you see this, congratulations. It's such a big accomplishment, and we are all so very proud of you. My sister Tracy got her doctorate degree last year, and now today her husband is getting his doctorate degree. So I am very, very happy and proud of my family. But the trip didn't happen for me, okay? It didn't happen. And no matter what you think you're gonna do, all the preparation, all of the driving, if God sees something else that is gonna happen, you can't stop it. So anyway, story goes, I woke up, I actually took these days off months ahead of time. And I just, when I travel, I try to prepare way ahead of time because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to forget anything. So I took these days off. I woke up yesterday, washed clothes, packed clothes, trying different things on. I did my hair like a few days ago. It took me a couple of days, but your girl got it done. And I just was in preparation mode, right? But God knew that this trip was not going to happen. I didn't know, right? So anyways, I drive not to my local airport. I had to drive an hour and a half to another airport. And it was the biggest storm yesterday. I think this is the biggest storm that we've had this season thus far. And the clouds was rolling in. It was black outside. Man, I drove through the lightning, the rain, the wind. And even though, and this is another word, driving through the storm, God will make it calm for you. And that's what he did. It honestly wasn't a terrible drive. It was a little scary, but it wasn't like cars driving crazy or crazy traffic or anything like that. It really wasn't. And I think that was partially due to me just praying. I said, God, I know the storm is coming through, and mind you, I left about 4 hours before my flight was supposed to take off, right? Because I'm all for getting to the airport at least 2 hours before. And since I knew that I would have to drive about an hour and a half, with Friday rush hour traffic and going, a little bit of a distance, I decided to leave early. And I don't know, like, it was just a really calm drive, even through the storm. So just remember that, like, figuratively speaking, when you're going through God can still like calm your heart and keep you at peace, right? I just said that was just a little side piece of my story. But anyway, I get to the airport. This was about 8 o'clock now. And I get through security check. I'm getting through security check. I'm walking to my gate. And then I checked my phone and I had a notification saying that my flight was canceled. And it already had delays. I had about 3 or 4 delays before it actually was canceled. And even though my trip was canceled, the destiny was still fulfilled. Like, my brother's still graduating. All things are still good. And where I was supposed to be, I didn't fight it. I didn't get upset. I wasn't mad. I got a refund. So I'm definitely using those credits to fly somewhere warm. So it honestly, it all worked out. But I just wanted to tell you that it doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think is going to happen, because to be honest, I thought I was going to be in Ohio this morning, right now, but I am at home. And that's in driving home, I was like, I can't believe this, Lord. Like, I cannot believe I'm driving back home after driving through the storm, after all this preparation. And God was like, girl, this was what was going to happen anyway. And I wasn't upset about it. I was just like in disbelief, like, wow, my flight canceled. I drove all that way. Like, in total, I drove 3.5 hours. And I don't know exactly why all of this happened. I don't know why the flight didn't cancel before I left home. I don't know why those things happen. Maybe I'll find out later. Maybe I won't. Maybe God was keeping all of us that was supposed to be on that flight from it being a doomed flight. That did cross my mind. Like, maybe I was not supposed to get on that flight. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get on the flight coming back home. I don't know. But what I do know is that the purpose was fulfilled. The destiny, I got to my destination, even though it wasn't the original destination. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even though you think like, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, God has other plans. He has another purpose. You know, he has the purpose. Shall I say that? We think we know, but God knows all. I wrote that down, as a matter of fact. Like, we think we know, but God knows all. He knows the end. We have no clue. We think we know. And sometimes we have these plans, we have goals, and we accomplish those goals, right? We get to the thing, we get to the purpose, we get to whatever we are trying to, get to. We tackle whatever we're trying to tackle, with precision. But sometimes it just don't work out. And I'm telling you, I look so goofy standing in that airport. I never been to that airport. I was lost. I think I had walked the whole mile in the airport trying to get to my gate when I could have just went. It was a very interesting experience. But I will tell you, I met a friend in line. That's how I meet people. I just meet people in line. Like, man, shout out to Miss Kathy. If you ever see this video, I love you, and I hope that all is well. I hope you made it to your destination, because she was supposed to fly to Atlanta and her flight was delayed. She said, child, I'm going back home. And she confirmed what I already had in my mind. Like, man, these flights aren't working out. They canceled my flight and then put me on another flight for the next day, which was not going to work because I was going to miss this graduation, which was very important. So I said, it's just not happening, Lord. It's just not happening. I politely gathered my things and I walked to my car. I got in and I drove the hour plus change home. But this verse I found made so much sense to the situation. And it's coming from Job. And if anybody knows Job, he went through so much. He went through so much in his life. He lost everything. And he still stayed true to the Lord. Even though he wanted to give up. I think I would have gave up just from the first couple of things that happened to Job. But he stayed true, and God blessed him like so many times over. But chapter 23 verses 13 and 14 says, but once he has made his decision, talking about God, who can change his mind? Whatever he wants to do, he does. So he will do to me whatever he has planned. He controls my destiny. We think we have it all together. We think we just know exactly, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm very meticulous about my life. Probably too meticulous, probably a little bit too cautious if I'm being vulnerable. And I used to get so frustrated. When things didn't work out. And now I'm like, God, have your way. Even when you think about your career and you aren't exactly happy about where you are, I'm talking generally speaking. I'm not talking about myself, because I currently like where I am for now. I like where I am. But if you're in a situation where you don't like where you are, it doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. It doesn't mean that that is your destiny. You know, you probably went to school, you probably took all these classes, you probably felt like you wasted money, but it's not the end. It's not the end. You think you know what you're doing, you think you know, but anything could change. Within a day, you could meet somebody that could change your life. You can meet the CEO of somebody and they will give you a whole new life, and you had no idea that this was going to be your life. You had no idea. Your purpose is being fulfilled at this moment. Like your story from the first chapter to the very last chapter is being written right now. Okay? Like, don't worry. I'm not even gonna like make this long. Sometimes I say that and I make it long. But again, I do what God allows, right? I do what God allows. And he knows. He knows. He just knows. He just knows. And I thank him, because sometimes we make decisions and choices and God will allow it. He'll allow it because it's a part of our testimonies. Sometimes we like, dang God, like, why did I go through that? Why? And yesterday I was asking why, because I definitely missed out on some money, but I know that he's going to give me back that plus some. I'm like, Lord, why did I even come? I had to pay for parking. I had to walk all over the world to get to the gate. I had to do this, I had to do that. But I met someone really nice. And I got back home safely. My bed was my destiny last night, okay? I went and got me a meal. And I ate it. And I enjoyed it. And this is where I am. This was my destiny today. So I'm alive. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Because I don't know what could have happened if the palace was like, okay, like, we can just go. Let's just do it, you know. And yeah, I thank God. But I just want to to get on here to tell you that wherever, if you think that all hope is lost, if you are feeling like, man, like life is just not moving right for me, like it's just not going the way I thought it was going to go, God can change that. He can change that. Like today, in 2 minutes, in 5 hours, you can meet somebody. And I'm gonna tell you too, real quick. I know this video is still gonna be short. It's not gonna be an hour, but I'm gonna tell you to put down your phone sometimes when you're in public. First of all, for safety, because you gotta be aware of your surroundings. When I was in the airport, I saw so many people just enthralled with their phone, and you miss out on so many connections with people. We are so connected with people via social media, via the internet, when we are literally surrounded by community in person, in real life, in real time. And the personality that I have, I'm a introvert, extrovert. They call it an ambivert, whatever. I'm both. I love people. I really do. I really love people, and I love my own company just as equally, maybe even more. I might be, I want to say 49% extrovert, 51% intro. I really love my own company, but I love people. And if I'm standing in a long line for an hour plus, I might start chatting with you maybe. Now, if I feel like you don't want to talk to me, I'm just going to, keep it moving. But I made a friend. And even though we didn't exchange information or anything like that, like it was a real genuine connection. And I'm grateful for that. And I was like, well, Lord, maybe that was the reason. I don't know. But we have to start connecting more. I feel like society is getting further and further away from the shore of communication with real people in real time, And as much as I love communicating online, I love reading opinions, I love threads, I love, just chatting with people and expressing my own opinions. It's nothing like that connection in real time. Now, sometimes I don't even feel like talking, especially when I'm at work. I just want to do my work. I may chat it up a little bit here and there, but I really just want to get my work done. But when I'm with people, I want to be with them. I'm rarely on my phone when I'm with my friends. First of all, me personally, this has nothing to do with anybody else. If you are convicted, then, maybe you need to do some little changes. But I don't like being on my phone when I'm with my friends, or if I'm dating someone. I don't want to be on my phone. I think it's so, I'm sorry, in my opinion, I think it's weird when I see couples and they just literally are on their phones and they say nothing to each other while they're out at dinner. Why y'all do that? You are with the supposed love of your life, while y'all having a conversation. Y'all probably have all types of issues and problems, and this is the time to connect, but you don't even. Anyway, this is destiny fulfilled. I just wanted to get that out the way. Connect with people, connect. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, God's gonna do what He gonna do. Learn to realize that. Some people get really, 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 really upset, really angry when things don't go their way. But in reality, it might just be going your way. And you don't know that. You don't realize that. Like, oh, maybe, this detour was to keep me from getting into an accident down the road. Maybe my tire got a flat because I wasn't supposed to go to that party. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go to work today. Can you imagine? Ooh, thank you, Lord. Can you imagine the people that call out on September 11th from the World Trade? They were sick, or they didn't feel like going to work, or they just wasn't feeling it, or whatever the case may have been, and they just didn't go to work that day. Can you imagine how those people feel? The people that are still around to this day, they probably think about that every day, like, oh my gosh, I call out of work on a day where my job was destroyed. Or you didn't go to a party and then come to find out there was a shootout. Or you didn't. Just think about it. Don't get upset. Don't get mad. And even though last night I was really like thinking like, God, but why did this happen though? Like, you can question it, but to get mad about it, you just don't know what God was keeping you from. You just don't know. Your destiny lies within inconvenience sometimes. Sometimes it looks annoying, it's frustrating, it's irritating, but you don't know what you was kept from. Think about that. Sometimes we won't get the answer. Sometimes we won't understand why a thing has happened, even if it's a bad thing. Even if something tragic has happened. There are people that I have lost in my life, and I don't understand. I do not understand. Because some of those people should be here. But as the verse said, whatever he wants to do, he does. God's going to allow things. God's going to do things. And sometimes it is not going to feel good. Sometimes, and this sounds really bad, another person's tragedy is our lesson. And that sounds terrible. But sometimes I look at people and I watch a lot of YouTube, and I see these people that go through these things and make these sometimes unwise decisions, and sometimes it's not even, it's something that has happened to them that was out of their control. But it makes me wiser. It makes me more alert. And it just makes me think, critical thinking. Sometimes I don't think critically, but then I think, okay, this has happened to this person. It's not going to happen to me. Let me not do what they did so I can change my life. I could change the trajectory. I was trying to avoid saying that word because sometimes I don't say it right. But even then, God is going to guide. If I try to go one way, he might be like, nah, make this U-turn right here. You're not going that way. And I have to say, okay, Lord. And I'm still here. I'm alive. Everything that I thought I was not going to survive, everything that I thought I wasn't going to get through, I either have gotten through it or I'm getting through it. And you will too. So, anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Destiny fulfilled, y'all. No matter what, it's going to work. It's going to work out. But we have to first pray and ask God what to do. What's the verse? Pray about everything. Pray about everything. I have to look that up. But pray about everything. Seek his counsel. And he'll show you the way. Either whether it be through people, whether it be through something that you read, something that you watch, he will enlighten you. But you have to believe it first. And you have to trust him. And you sometimes have to give up give up the ghost. You have to give it up. And stop fighting. And stop trying to do everything on your own. Sometimes our destinies are cut short. And that right there makes me sad. It makes me emotional when I see people with so much potential make horrid decisions that just keep falling and not learn from the choices and decisions that they have made in the past. They just don't learn. And it just keeps happening until life is just over for them. And it hurts. But if you're watching this video, that means you're alive. That means that you still have a chance to make things better. Get up. Take a shower, take a bath. Get your life together. Go step outside like I'm about to do. Get some fresh air. Get out into the world. Just a little bit. Even if it's for like 10 minutes. Get out into the world. Let God speak to you through the air, man. See what he has for you. He has something to say to you. If you have a dream in your heart, you can still accomplish that. I don't care how old you are. I think I mentioned this in videos beforehand. If you are 57, if you are 23, if you are 18, if you are 72, it don't matter. You're still here. You can still fulfill your purpose. Especially if you're not sick, if you're not like terminally ill. And even if you are terminally ill, you can still create a video or something that will help encourage somebody else that is still thriving and alive. And well, you're alive too, but you know what I mean. Like if you can still encourage somebody, if you are still here on this earth breathing, you have a chance to help somebody else. People are so selfish that it's all about them. It's all about them. That we don't use our God-given breath and mouth and words to help somebody else. Anyway, destiny fulfilled. Go fulfill yours. Get out. Start writing. Start jotting down notes. Things that come to your mind. Start doing it. When I got up this morning, this came to me. I was like, all right, Lord, destiny fulfilled. All right. I didn't reach my destination, but I reached my destination, if it makes sense. The destination that I thought was supposed to be, that wasn't where I was supposed to be. That wasn't the journey. But I'm here. I'm here now. This video would not have been made if I had made it to Ohio. I wouldn't have had a story to tell. I wouldn't have a story to tell. So anyway, go make your story. Go do what you got to do for yourself. Write it down. You ready for a change? Do it. Just one little step, y'all. One little step. One little step can change your life forever. You never know. I don't know who will be watching these videos. Beyonce could be watching these videos. Michael Jordan could be watching these videos. I don't know. But you're watching, and I thank you, and I love you for being here and watching all the way up into this very moment. Because I don't know why you're here, but I appreciate you being here, you know? So please, listen to me. God has a purpose for your life. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the enemy when he says that it's nothing for you. You not going to amount to anything. You know, your life is a waste. It's not a waste. Get up. Stop playing. All right? I love you. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.